Liverpool go a goal down and a man down inside 20 minutes, but managed to draw 2-2 at home to Fulham, Gab. Glass half full or glass half empty?
1000% glass half full. A season, I know it's a cliche, it's a marathon, blah, 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 is defined by how you react in times of adversity. And, think about this. Not just that, you could add, they were coming off a really unimpressive performance against Girona.
Mm-hmm.
You have Andy Robertson, who's supposed to be one of your most experienced leaders, blah, 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 having a brain fart, getting himself sent off. You're already a goal down. He reacts by putting Gravenberch at center back, which I thought, he must really not like Jarell Kwanzaa, by the way.
True.
And you go back, and they bombard them. Their XG was more than 2.
Second half, they were brilliant.
And even when the Rodrigo goal, first I thought, oh my God, what did he just do? And then I see, there's actually a pretty big deflection.
I gave him the back heel goal.
Yeah, okay. Well, the intent was there. But still, that is kind of a free goal to concede, right? If you're Slaw, your narrative out of this is, it was all set up against us, and we turned it around.
Yeah.
This is manifest destiny. This is our season. Of course, they're only 2 points clear of Chelsea, but they do have that game in hand, which can restore a modicum of normality. And also, I think, really, really good to have Elliott back and Jota back, who, of course,
lovely finish
scored
by
the goal.
Jota, great goal to get to 2.
Chelsea beat Brentford 2-1 to pull within 2 points of Liverpool, though they have played one more game.
Yeah.
Enzo Maresca insisted again that they're not ready to challenge. Does he believe it? Or if you look closely, do you see his nose getting a little bit longer every time he says it?
He has to believe it. Of course, he has to. I think 2 points behind, and we said it last time, and we will say it again. We don't know for how long they will be that close to Liverpool. By February, they might be 10 points behind. By March as well, whatever. But for now, they're 2 points behind. Of course, they are very much in it. However, I liked what he said after the game against Brentford when he said, you saw the mistakes that we made today, the way Mbeumo scores, the sending off for Cucurella, which is completely stupid. That's why he said those mistakes show why we are not ready yet to compete. So, to be fair, I thought that was a really good point. I still think when you're 2 points behind the leaders, of course you're in it.
I slotted Kyle Walker. I can't get Cucurella get away with this, right? When he talks about lack of leadership, you are, I think Robert Sanchez might be a few months older, right? But you are the oldest player on the team. You're the most experienced player. You're the European champion, allegedly, with Spain.
Yeah.
All right, we had the nonsense with the boots and the slips, and you saw that wasn't a mistake because he slipped. That's all right. That was a week ago. And now you get
Great
this
goal, though.
Insane yellow card for a completely needless foul where you could have actually hurt the guy.
Yeah.
And then you have this incident where you throw yourself to the ground like some kind of buffoon trying to win a free kick. And then after the final whistle, you go and you get another yellow, which means you're going to be suspended. I mean, leadership.
Yeah.
Seriously, realize who you are. You are, we always talk about the lack of older players, lack of experienced players. It's him. So he's got to step up. And I think this is part of what Maresca was talking about too. And by the way, they created a ton of chances. They also conceded a ton of chances. I don't think Maresca's super happy about that, but they're flying. They're way ahead of schedule.
Arsenal are head to a scoreless draw at home by Everton. Gab, Arteta thought they should have won it though.
Arteta is correct in terms of the volume of things that they created and the XG and all. And whatever else. But equally, you knew Everton were going to play that way. You knew Everton do this very well under Sean Dyche. Problem with Arsenal is there's a plan A, which is Odegaard Saka. There's a plan B, which is the set pieces with your friend Nicholas. And then there's nothing else for the time being anyway. Martinelli is a ghost of what he was. Calafiori, the stepping in midfield, whatever, the guy's injured, so we don't see that. Marino, who was supposed to be he's the Odegaard creative alternative in midfield. No, he's not. He's having a really difficult time, I thought.
So far, yeah.
And while it's fashionable for people to just go and blame Kai Havertz, all of a sudden he's not a real striker, which I had on the FC show Saturday night. And it's not the problem. The problem is somebody needs to step up and give them that third and fourth option. And he's not there yet.
Tottenham bounced back with a 5-0 road win over Southampton on Sunday evening. Gab, did Ange Postecoglou shut up the haters?
Not really, because frankly, Southampton were so terrible. People are supposed to feel bad for Russell Martin. I don't feel bad for him. He's a rich man. He won promotion in the Premier League last year. He's very handsome. He has a nice beard. but enough. You cannot play this way in the Premier League.
Yeah.
So Spurs took what's there. I like the fact that they didn't pile on in the second half. That would have been totally unnecessary. The tests are coming up. United in the League Cup and I think Liverpool next weekend. That's where we'll find out what Spurs are made of. Nottingham Forest strike twice last 3 minutes to beat Aston Villa 2-1 and go fourth in the table. Jules, we've made fun of them in the past, but I think it's time to praise the lovable, cuddly Nuno Espirito Santo, and especially the man who makes it all happen,
of course,
Evangelos Marinakis.
Yeah, Evangelos. I mean, they had this little bad patch when they lost 3 or 4, to be fair, against Arsenal, Newcastle and City, and were heavily beaten. But then since that, they came back strongly, and certainly in this game, for a long time, it looked like it was just not going to happen for them. They had that goal disallowed from Chris Wood, even if they were the better team in the second half. And then somehow they turned things around with Elanga, and it was just amazing. So well done. We saw one of the saves of the season from Emi Martinez. He had one in the Champions League. A couple of,
and then he threw the other one into his own net. So
yeah, and then he made a mistake. But the one that he did on the Dominguez header was pretty special too. But it was not enough. And I think for Villa, who plays City by the way on Saturday, early kickoff, massive game. That I never felt that Villa were going for it. And John Duran scored. Okay, great, good for him. But I don't know. There's still something missing, I think.
I expected Forest to go away, and they didn't. They're still here. I don't know. Do you think possibly it's, because of the unfair ban that Marinakis got, because he can't help but spit on the ground, even indoors, wherever he goes, that God is now helping Forest because of the way he was treated? No? Maybe. Wolverhampton Wanderers lose at home to Ipswich Town 2-1 in what they might call a relegation 6-pointer.
Yes.
Jules, this got very ugly at the end with Matthias Cunha and Ryan Aït-Nouri losing their minds.
Yeah.
They're second bottom, and unsurprisingly, your buddy Gary O'Neill is gone.
He's gone. Yeah, he's gone. He threw all the players under the bus, saying that never in his career, which is long of 2 seasons as a manager, but never in his career ever he struggled so much to get his players do the basic. Okay. I think the responsibility is a bit on you as well, Gary. But it's true that it's tough to lose in the 94th minute against Ipswich when they had so many chances to go and win that game. Must have been hard to take. I get that. That doesn't explain and justify why Cunha and Aït-Nouri go mad at the end and then one gets sent off. I don't know how Cunha didn't get sent off either, but he will get a lengthy ban.
You see Cunha taking that guy's glass? Yeah. There's the Ipswich Town security guy.
First, he's like...
He elbows him in the back of the head.
And then grab his glasses. And to be fair, I really, really admire the reaction from the security guy who stays. Did you see? He stays like, doesn't go mad, stays like that, almost looks and is like, what are you doing? Why would you do that to me? Like, what have I done kind of thing? Cunha, I suspect is going to be banned for quite a while because you can't behave like this, man.
No, and in fact, the Cunha thing, the security guy is a bit older, but he actually looks, despite the glasses, he looks pretty badass. I could never be a security guy because how the guy
stays calm.
Yeah. He doesn't say, hey, Matthias, why don't we meet outside when this is over, right? And then we'll see who wants to play with who's. No, because the reality is the vast majority of these people, right? They may be super fit or whatever. Yeah, Matthias Cunha can run away from him. That guy would turn Matthias Cunha into a little puddle of oil, and he knows it.
So Vitor Pereira, the Portuguese coach from Al Shabab in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, I wonder who reps him.
But you know what? I was thinking... Gary O'Neill was clearly not Uncle George's choice because if you look at the last 4 managers, Lopetegui, George client. Nuno, George client. Bruno Lage, George client. Gary O'Neill, not George client. Maybe George said, hey, get the English white guy, the bad one.
Right, so then they'll tolerate me coming back and signing more Fabio Silva. And then I come back with Sergio Conceição
or Vitor Pereira or somebody.
I like this situation is so... unnecessary, so toxic. I've said this at the time. Wolves fans attacked me because they did well for a very long time. Obviously, when they came in and they had Ruben Neves and Moutinho and whatever. But this is absurd that an agent and that an agency should be part owner of a football club.
I know.
It's just not normal.
And we mentioned that a little bit earlier, Gabi, but Manchester City reported a £74 million profit in their latest accounts, which were released last week. And Gab, the haters hate, But except for the COVID season, they made a profit every year since 2014-15.
That's right.
It's pretty good.
Pretty remarkable, isn't it? Now, look, I'm going to let you in a little secret. A lot of their sponsorship comes from companies that are tied to the, I don't think this is a secret, which are tied to the Abu Dhabi royal family who own the club. Now, there's a big debate about whether those are artificially inflated with their fair market value. I don't want to get into that right now because, well, hey, there's a whole committee that decides these things. And all these accounts, by the way, have been passed, right? They've been passed by the Premier League, but they've been passed by UEFA. So that part's not really in question. You can debate whether it's fair or not. I'm more interested in pointing out that when you've made 196 million in profit when in the last 3 years, does that foreshadow anything? Does that maybe foreshadow that they thought, all right, we want to have a big pile of money, so we're in a good spot with financial fair play rules so that we can go and spend a ton of money for the new manager once Pep leaves? Yeah. Does it foreshadow that maybe we want to fix the books so that if we have to sell the club, or maybe we might choose to sell the club? Because let's face it, Khaldoun Al-Mubarak has a much more important day job than being chairman of this, right? Ferran Soriano is getting older. Cheeky has already left. Sheikh Mansour, I think once he's been to the Etihad.
Twice maybe,
they've proved their point. So I just find this really interesting because it runs counter to the trends of certainly every other top club in the Premier League.